Let's talk about Batwoman Season 1. A friend picked this up for me. I wasn't going to watch it. Frankly, I felt the same way everybody else did with this show, where I watched the abysmal trailer that was a whole movie of Captain Marvel bad, or Ghostbusters 2016 trailer bad, where they're like, the only reason Batman couldn't do it is because he's not a woman. And they heavily advertised and interviews and stuff how she was lesbian, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just the way they were pushing it and like trying to go about it. It was just despicable, honestly. It was just nasty stuff. And it's really terrible marketing. I can see why people didn't didn't care for the show. But there were already people like boycotting the show, hating on the actress before the show had even released. And look, from trailers, if it doesn't seem appealing to you, you don't have to watch it. But why are we hating on a person before you've even seen the performance or seen the show? Um, so I watched the show, and I gotta say the trailer did encapsulate a lot of the uh, issues in the trailer within just the pilot. Just the pilot. The rest of the show, a lesbian thing people flipped out about, was barely in the show. It was focused on in some episodes, um, but it really wasn't done that much. And yeah, the whole Batman sucks and women are great at everything, and wasn't an angle that was really pushed to the show too much. I mean, at least compared to Supergirl, at least like Supergirl is a way more like pro feminism show, and nobody flips out about that show. So like, this show is whatever. I don't really care. Here's the thing. Uh, if you don't like this show, don't watch it. Simple as that. You won't like it. Like I don't get the like freak out attack people around about this show. It's not even that bad of a show compared to shows like The Flash and Green Arrow. And I say compared to those shows because it's very in line with those shows. It's crossed over with those shows. It's from the same network. Um, it is it is not good, but it's fine for what it's doing. It's a very soap opera style show. They stretch things out for uh, multiple episodes. They rehash things over and over again. That's what The Flash and Green Arrow do. It's bad writing, but people get engaged by it. And if you like those shows, then watch it. It's enjoyable. It's not a terrible show. Like, there's nothing to flip a lid about, like people were doing with this show. And again, they were doing it before the show came out. And the other thing, people are going to be mad when I talk about this, but like those shows, the action here is not very prevalent, though it's more prevalent than Flash and Green Arrow. Because like Flash, it requires a lot more special effects budget, which they just clearly don't have for that show. That's why the effects look so terrible when they're there. And that's one thing I've admired about TV nowadays is, people always say it's TV, don't worry about the effects. I'm like, bad effects in a TV show are just as distracting in a movie. And so we've gotten to points where we've got higher budget for shows and they look a lot better than they normally would back like a decade ago, which is great. I love that aspect about TV today. Some shows just still look bad though, like The Flash and stuff. But this is more practical, so there's more of it. But it's mostly just boring character stuff. It's not really too interesting and not like any the acting is a lot better than the Flash and Green Arrow. It's not like 10 out of 10. It's like average, but like it's less cheesy than the freaking Flash. The dialogue isn't much better, but the actors here deliver a lot better, especially Ruby Rose's Batwoman. She's not on the same level as like we would think of like Christopher Reeve as Superman, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, or whatever. But she does a decent job in the part. It's a shame that she broke her back and won't be playing the character anymore because of stunts. And I think that's why people get mad that I brought this up, because yeah, she did break her back, and so there's a reason that maybe there wasn't as much stunts, but it's also like it's still an issue with the show, and like most issues with stunts where people get injured is because things aren't being coordinated very well, and yeah, but I still thought the show was a decent show. I don't get the flip out attack people had about it. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's not really good. It's fine for what it's trying to be. If you like Flash, if you like Green Arrow, it's a decent show. And I will talk about season 2 if that season gets a Blu-ray release. Because I'm not signing up for HBO Max. Sorry, I can't support the service that is making the Snyder Cut. And also, like, they're not available on Roku, and they have, like, no original content I'm interested in whatsoever, honestly. And Warner Brothers is a company that does a great job at releasing their stuff on Blu-ray and DVD lately. So I'm sure a lot of the stuff on there will get released on Blu-ray and DVD. And so the some of the stuff I'm interested in, like Witches, I'll probably pick that up in the future. So that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what you thought of Batwoman. And was it as bad as you thought it was gonna be? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I just think people freaked out way too much about this show.